Josh Kelly has thrown down the gauntlet in spectacular fashion, declaring he possesses the skills to school the phenom Jaron Boots Ennis in what would be one of boxing's most intriguing stylistic clashes. The Sunderland technician's bold claim comes amidst a brewing controversy over what he describes as a disrespectful fight offer from Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. Kelly, currently riding a 7-fight win streak, didn't mince words when discussing the proposed October showdown in Philadelphia, telling the Ring magazine in no uncertain terms that the financial terms were completely unacceptable. His longtime trainer Adam Booth went even further, branding the offer as derisory, suggesting the promotional giant severely undervalued Kelly's market worth and championship pedigree. This financial standoff adds another layer of intrigue to what could be a career-defining opportunity for both fighters in the red-hot super welterweight division. The contractual drama takes on even greater significance when considering the tight time frame Kelly was given to make his decision. According to the 2016 Olympian, Matchroom presented him with a take-it-or-leave-it ultimatum, requiring an answer within just 24 hours, an impossibly short window for such a high-stakes career move. Kelly's frustration is palpable as he points out the glaring disparity between his professional standing and the offer presented, emphasizing that he's no mere stepping-stone opponent, but an established contender with legitimate championship aspirations. The former British champion's stance reflects a growing trend among elite fighters refusing to accept short money for dangerous fights, especially when facing a destructive force like Ennis, who recently vacated his welterweight titles to campaign at 154 pounds. This negotiation standoff highlights the delicate balance between opportunity and fair compensation in boxing's high-stakes environment. What makes Kelly's confidence particularly fascinating is his unshakable belief that his unique stylistic approach could neutralize Ennis's feared offensive arsenal. The British boxer describes his own style as horrible to face, a blend of unorthodox movement, unpredictable angles, and technical precision that could potentially disrupt Ennis's rhythm. Kelly theorizes that the Philadelphia knockout artist has never encountered an opponent who mirrors his own elusiveness and craftiness in the ring. This assessment carries some merit when examining Ennis's recent competition, which has largely consisted of come-forward fighters playing directly into his counter-punching strengths. The potential clash of styles presents a compelling chess match. Will Ennis's athleticism and power overwhelm Kelly's defense, or can the Brit's slick movement and ring IQ create the openings needed to pull off a massive upset? Kelly's recent form suggests he's entering his physical prime at just the right moment to test his theory against elite competition. Since his sole professional defeat to David Avanesyan in 2021, the same Avanesyan that Enis would later stop, Kelly has strung together 7 consecutive victories, showing marked improvement under Booth's tutelage. His most recent outing, a devastating first-round knockout of Flavius Biea in June, demonstrated the increasing power in his hands to complement his already formidable technical skills. This career resurgence has seen Kelly climb to the number 3 spot in the WBO rankings, 1 place ahead of Enis, giving him legitimate standing to demand a premium for what would undoubtedly be a high-risk fight for both men. The Sunderland fighter's development into a complete boxer-puncher makes his challenge to Enis far more credible than it might have been just 2 years ago. The financial and competitive calculus becomes even more complex when considering Enis's own career trajectory. Fresh off relinquishing his IBF welterweight title after his victory over Imantas Stanionis, Boots made the strategic decision to move up to 154 pounds, where fresher opportunities and potentially bigger paydays await. This transition period makes matchmaking particularly delicate. Does Enis take on a high-risk, low-reward opponent like Kelly early in his super welterweight campaign, or does he target more established names that would boost his profile faster? From Kelly's perspective, this moment represents the perfect storm to force a big fight. He's ranked higher, riding momentum, and facing an opponent still adjusting to a new weight class. His public call-out puts pressure on Enis's team to either make a legitimate offer or face accusations of ducking a credible challenge. Should the Enis fight fail to materialize, Kelly has already positioned himself for an attractive backup option in newly crowned WBO champion Xander Zayas. The 21-year-old Puerto Rican sensation recently captured the interim title with a convincing decision win over Jorge Garcia, immediately putting him in Kelly's crosshairs. There's existing narrative here too, with Kelly revealing that Zayas had called him out previously when neither fighter held significant standing in the division. Now with the title in play, the potential matchup takes on much greater significance. Kelly's public challenge to Zayas creates an interesting dilemma for the young champion. defend against a dangerous, experienced contender in Kelly, or pursue what might be perceived as safer options as he looks to establish his championship reign. This calculated two-pronged approach by Kelly demonstrates shrewd career management, ensuring he remains in the conversation for major fights regardless of how the Ennis situation unfolds. The psychological warfare Kelly is employing shouldn't be overlooked either. By openly questioning whether Ennis has faced anyone with comparable skills and boldly stating he could give him a boxing lesson, the Brit is attempting to plant seeds of doubt while simultaneously boosting his own marketability. This tactic serves multiple purposes. It puts public pressure on Ennis to accept the fight, increases Kelly's bargaining power in negotiations, and elevates his profile among casual fans who might be hearing his name for the first time. The mental game is particularly crucial when facing a fighter like Enis, who has dominated nearly every opponent with intimidating ease. Kelly's verbal jabs represent an attempt to disrupt Ennis's aura of invincibility before they ever step in the ring together. From a stylistic perspective, a potential Kelly-Ennis matchup presents fascinating tactical questions that would test both men in ways they haven't been tested before. Ennis would need to solve the puzzle of Kelly's fluid movement and crafty defense, while Kelly would face the monumental task of avoiding Ennis's devastating power shots for 12 rounds. The bout could come down to whether Kelly can establish his jab and maintain distance effectively, or if Ennis can cut off the ring and force the Brit into exchanges where his power advantage would likely prove decisive. Kelly's confidence suggests he believes he can lure Ennis into frustration, potentially drawing mistakes from the normally composed American. This type of high-level chess match is exactly what hardcore boxing fans crave, pitting two contrasting styles against each other with legitimate stakes on the line. The broader implications for the super welterweight division add another layer of significance to these developments. With undisputed champion Terence Crawford likely to vacate as he moves between weight classes, the 154-pound division is poised for a reshuffling that could see multiple fighters jockeying for position. Kelly's bold move to call out both Enis and Zayas demonstrates his understanding that now is the time to strike in a fluid championship picture. For Enis, the decision becomes whether to establish himself quickly in the new weight class against a tricky opponent like Kelly, or to pursue potentially bigger names like Tim Tia or Erickson Lubin. The coming weeks will reveal whether Kelly's gamble pays off with a career-high payday and shot at redemption, or if he'll need to pivot to the Zayas option as his path to championship gold. For boxing fans, this developing storyline offers everything that makes the sport compelling. High-stakes negotiations, bold challenges, and the potential for an intriguing style clash between two fighters at crucial career junctures. Kelly's willingness to step up against one of boxing's most avoided fighters commands respect, even if some question whether he can back up his confident predictions. The next moves by Matchroom Ennis' team and Zayas' representatives will determine whether we get to see if Kelly's technical prowess can indeed solve the Boots Ennis puzzle, or if the Philadelphia Star's relentless pressure and power will prove too much for the Brit to handle. One thing is certain, in a sport that thrives on bold statements and high drama, Josh Kelly has positioned himself squarely in the spotlight with his unfiltered comments and ambitious callouts.